welcome to my channel. My name is Joanna of Joanna Marie Art. I don't do very many videos, but I'd like to get into it more. So I've had this in mind for a while, which is a video of how to draw braids, particularly in colored pencil. And so here I'm going to show you. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to show you is the way that I sort of like a hack for drawing braids, to be able to do it a little more easily, because I know that braids can be really difficult. I've always had a lot of trouble with them until I discovered how to do this. So basically I draw a straight line down and then a zigzag line, as you can see, all the way down, and then after that I'm just going to connect all of these looping around. As you can see, that those are the sides of the hair. So here you can see that I am just darkening up these lines a little bit so that where they're located and their form is a little bit more distinct. And I like to just make sure my line art is all ready to go before I do some inking. So I did the inking off camera just to kind of skip over that step, because it's not really that interesting in this case. So now I'm just going to lay down my base shade. I thought I'd go with kind of a cool color. I really like brightly colored hair, so I just wanted to go with the teal because I really enjoy teal. I love blues and greens. So yeah, so here I am just filling that out. And the next thing I'm going to do is lay in my base shadows, and in also highlights, except I'm not coloring the highlights, I'm just leaving that as empty space in between the shadows. So the next thing I'm going to do is blend out those shadows a little bit with a lighter color. And this is going to be slightly lighter than I want the final piece to be, as the last shade was slightly darker. So we're just building it up in layers. Alright, the next layer we're going to do is a straight up blue. So I could have just colored this all in shades of teal, lights and darks. But to add some more visual interest to the colors themselves throughout the drawing, I like to do different variations or even totally different colors just to add a little more depth. As you can see with the blue, I'm sort of shading it sideways a little bit. So I found that in my finished drawing, that ends up making it just a little more smooth overall. Okay, so here I'm going to go in with an actual teal, pretty close to the color, the final color that I want this to be. And I'm just going to make some actual strokes, because I really just want those strokes nice and crisp and clear. So to really add some depth to this, I'm going to take sort of a reddish purple color, which is kind of on the opposite end of the color wheel of, you know, my main color of teal. So I'm just going to add that into where I want it to be the darkest spots, and that'll just help really deepen those blues and warm them up a little bit and provide a little contrast to the rest of the hair. Now I'm going in with a dark blue, a really dark blue, one of my darkest, which is actually pretty well used, as you can see. I really need to pick up a new one. I think I have like 5 pencils out of my whole huge set, 120 pencils, that are small like this, so that they definitely get the most use. I just want to help blend out all these tones with a lighter greenish, a sort of a seafoam green, I guess. And I'm going to be doing a little bit of strokes, hair strokes, but mostly just blending out these colors so that they seem, you know, they're a little more uniform, especially with that big dark shadow. I don't want that to be such a hard line. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is erase my initial base coat color out of the center where the highlight's going to be. I just want that one a little bit more smooth because the pencil strokes look a little bit rough because it was just, you know, the initial coat. And I also want it to be a little bit lighter because this is obviously our highlight section, so we want that to be really, you know, really stand out. So now I'm going to go in with that light shade and just really lightly just lay it on over the highlight section, just so that it's not too white, almost white looking. I want it to, you know, be blended, just be a really soft pale green. I'm taking my main teal color and I'm just going to go over one more time over the hair and, you know, sort of define a few strokes and just blend out that shadow and get the color as saturated as I want it to be. We're just going to add a little bit more blue just right in the very center of the braid because I felt like it was getting a little bit too light. There's so many layers of color and they start to feel a little light to me, so I just wanted this blue to sort of contrast that out. And then the very last step that we're going to do is color over that center bit, and this is what really brings out that silky smooth look. We're just going to color over the highlight section with a white pencil. And you could do it pretty hard. I like to do it pretty firm so that it's, you know, really, really smooth all through there. Alright, so the last thing that I'm going to do is add a new outline since the color pencil has really diluted that black outline. So I want to just add that back in. And another benefit of this is that I can sort of cover up those little mistakes on the edges because I don't really pay too much attention to the edges when I'm coloring, especially if I have a black outline and I know I'm just going to add it back in. This is a good way to take out those little mistakes and just cover them up, and then nobody's the wiser. And nobody but you knows, except now I guess the whole internet knows my secret, but that's okay. The finished product still looks great. And there you have it, silky smooth braids. Alright, well that is it. I'm glad you watched. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you again soon.